Everyone tells parents the same thing. Be practical. Keep your kids safe. Don't let them chase stupid dreams. I listened to that advice. I did the right thing. I kept my son safe from his dream. This guitar belonged to my boy. He died at 32. This is the story of the most expensive thing I ever sold. I sold my son's dream for a steady paycheck and a sensible life. My name is Mark Reynolds. I'm 76 years old. If you saw me on the street, you'd think I'm just another retired American grandpa. Paid off house, truck in the driveway, Social Security, and a little pension. People say, Mark did all right. He was a good provider. Provider. That word used to make me proud. Now it tastes like rust in my mouth. I provided everything, except the one thing my son needed most: permission to live his own life. I can't go to my grave with this story still locked up inside me. I grew up poor, real poor. Rusted out trailer on the edge of town, roaches in the cupboard, shut off notice taped to the front door more times than I can count. My dad worked hard and drank harder. My mom stretched every dollar till it screamed. I learned two things. Money is never enough, and dreams are dangerous. I loved music when I was a kid. There was this old radio. I'd lay awake at night. But in our house, dreams was a bad word. Only thing that mattered was work. So I traded my guitar fantasies for a hard hat and a lunch pail. I swore my kids would never know the kind of fear I grew up with. I would keep them safe, no matter what. And my firstborn, Luke, and he came into this world with music wired into his bones. At 5, he was banging rhythms on the kitchen table. At 10, he was playing guitar better than I ever could. At 15, he wrote a song that made his mom cry at the kitchen sink. Teachers said he was gifted. Church band wanted him every Sunday. But when Luke played, the whole room shifted. You forgot the bills, the news, the noise. For 3 minutes and 40 seconds, everything made sense. And all I could think was, gifted is nice, but gifted doesn't pay the mortgage. So every time people praised him, I'd pat him on the shoulder and say, music's a great hobby, son, but one day you'll need a real job. I thought I was grounding him. Really, I was laying the first bricks of the wall between us. Luke was 17 when the letter came. He came home one day, eyes shining, envelope in his hand like it was a golden ticket. Acceptance letter. A well-known music school in another state. Partial scholarship. Teachers had sent his recordings without telling us. Dad, they want me, he said. They listen to my songs. They see something in me. Behind the letter, I saw something else. Tuition numbers, rent in another city, debt, risk, failure, coming home broke and broken. I heard my dad's voice. Music doesn't put food on the table, boy. Luke kept talking. They've got real studios, producers visit the campus. This could be my shot. I heard my own heartbeat pounding in my ears, and under it, a whisper. You can't afford this. You'll lose him. You'll lose everything. On one side of the table, my son's future, written in black ink. On the other side, bills, my bank account printout, a lifetime of fear. I picked up the phone and called the number at the bottom of the letter. Admissions office, how can I help you? This is Mark Reynolds. My son Luke was accepted. He won't be coming. Are you sure, sir? He's got real potential. I'm sure, I said. He needs something more stable. Hung up and told myself I'd saved him. When Luke came home from school, I had a different paper waiting. Good news, I told him. Talked to my buddy at the plant. They've got an entry-level position open. Benefits, overtime. You can start after graduation. He looked at the job offer, then at me, then at the music school envelope, now folded and wrinkled. Dad, did you call them? Dad, did you call them? Please tell me you didn't. We can't afford that place, Luke. It's a fantasy. You need something real. His face broke right in front of me. You didn't even ask me, he whispered. This is my house, and I'm not letting you throw your future away on noise. He didn't yell back. He just nodded once. That was worse than if he'd screamed. That was the night I sold my son's dream for a paycheck and a sense of control. I didn't sign a receipt, but the universe kept the invoice. At first, I told myself it was working. Luke took the job. On paper, it looked perfect. But the music in the house changed. He stopped playing at church, stopped writing songs at the kitchen table, stopped humming in the shower. He started coming home with that dead look in his eyes, the one I used to have when I came off double shifts. On Friday nights, instead of band practice, it was beer cans and loud arguments. The guitar moved from the living room to his bedroom, then under the bed. One night, the police called, DUI. Another night, it was the ER, pills and alcohol. We fought. God, we fought. He shouted, I hate that job. I hate my life. I shouted back, welcome to adulthood. Nobody loves their job. He threw it at me like a knife. You didn't save me, Dad. You bought me. You paid for my life with my dream. I told him he was ungrateful, immature. He stopped talking to me after that, except when he had to. You can live in the same house and be 1,000 miles apart. We proved it. Luke moved out in his late 20s. Factory, crummy apartment, same town. We saw each other on holidays, birthdays, surface talk, weather, sports, nothing real. Every time I thought about apologizing, something inside me said, later, when things calm down. when he's less angry. Later never came. One Tuesday, I was sitting in my truck when the phone rang. His name on the screen. I almost didn't pick up. When I did, his voice sounded far away, like he was calling from the bottom of a well. "Hey, Dad," he said. "You busy?" "Yeah, I lied. At the store. I've been thinking about stuff. About music. About us." The air in the truck got heavy. I felt the old panic rising. The guilt. The fear that he'd blame me. That I'd have to admit what I'd done. "Sure," I said. "We'll sit down this weekend. I'm a little tied up right now." He went quiet again. "Okay, yeah, this weekend. We never got that weekend." 2 days later, 3 a.m., the phone rang again. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. In the morning, I listened. "This is Nurse Adams from County Hospital. Your son Luke was brought in last night. There was an overdose. We did everything we could. The rest blurred. By the time I got there, he was gone." At the funeral, people told me how responsible Luke was, how he never missed a shift, how he always stayed late when the boss asked. His manager shook my hand and said, "You raised a hard worker, sir. You should be proud." His mother cried into a crumpled tissue. His younger sister wouldn't look at me. Later that week, we went to clean out his apartment. I opened his drawers, work uniforms, pay stubs. Then I looked under his bed. The guitar case was there, covered in dust. Inside, a stack of notebooks thick with songs. Hundreds of pages, lyrics, chords, doodles. On the first page of the first notebook, he'd written a title, "The Life I Didn't Live." I flipped to a random song. One line stared back at me. "You built me a prison and called it home." I didn't hear the paramedics say time of death, but that sentence, that was the moment I realized when my son really died. Not in that hospital bed, not with that overdose. He died at our kitchen table at 17. The night his own father told him that who he wasn't allowed. People assume my biggest regret is that I didn't stop him from drinking, or that I didn't answer that phone call at 3 a.m. They're wrong. My biggest regret is that I never once said, "Son, I believe in your dream. Let's figure it out together." I told myself I was protecting him from pain, but really, I was protecting myself from being scared, from being poor again, from feeling helpless. I traded his future for my comfort. I stacked my fears on his shoulders. You know what the cruel joke is? All those things I was trying to avoid, pain, fear, loss, they came anyway. I lost him anyway. And every night, I sit in this quiet, and I'd trade it all in a heartbeat for one more chance to hear him play in the living room. If you're a parent or a husband, a wife, a friend, a son, a daughter. Listen to me carefully. If someone you love brings you a fragile dream, it might look ridiculous, risky, impractical. It'll scare you. Your instinct will be to say no. Be realistic. Be safe. Do the sensible thing before those words leave your mouth. I want you to picture an old man in a quiet house having a guitar that doesn't play, reading songs from a life that never happened. Picture me. Ask yourself one question. Am I doing this out of love or out of fear? Because love may challenge them, guide them, make them think, but it will never crush who they are, and just to make you feel less afraid. Fear will sound smart. Fear will use big words like stability and responsibility. Fear will wear a suit and carry a briefcase and show you spreadsheets. And fear will hand you a comfortable life with empty chairs at your table. I can't go back and unsell my son's dream. I can't give him the life I stole. But you still have time. Your kid wants to study art instead of accounting. You want to write a book, move cities, sing, build, create. Don't wait for a funeral to admit what matters. You don't have to throw all caution away, but don't let fear dress up as wisdom and make your choices for you. The next time someone you love says, "This is what makes me feel alive," don't answer like I did. Sit down, listen, talk through the risks, help them plan. But please, for their sake and for yours, don't slam the door on their dream just because you're still haunted by your own. Because one day, you'll be either sit with living memories or with deep silence. And that silence, that will be the price of your choices. Whose dream have you been holding back? Call them. Say the words you've been afraid to say.